Hi, I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and this is my review of the Arctic P12 Max per the request of my friend Old Sod on Bleeping Computer. And this is part one. Don't get confused. This is the P12 Max, an unassuming looking fan, but then again, a lot of the best fans are pretty unassuming looking. And you can see it's got cushions for the corners, and there is a very fine texturing to the fan blades, and it has a ring running around the outsides of the fan blades to support them. This means that they don't have to have quite as rigid of a material um, because it'll hold the shape of the fan blades to a very larger degree than if that ring didn't exist. These are called ring fans. So let's take a look at the standby here, the comparison. The very popular Noctua NF-A12x25 PWM. That's what this one looks like. So we're going to check out the noise of these two fans. And we're going to start with the Arctic. So let me just get that turned on. And this should be good. It's noisy from the start. There's an odd noise that I did not expect to hear. It's a medium tone, almost metallic. The pitch of the fan itself is low. The low noise has disappeared because this fan is just so loud. That's a noisy fan. This makes the Noctua look quiet, which I'll show you now. My poor fingers. You can just imagine my nemesis watching these videos and laughing when I make mistakes. So, I'm giving him some entertainment. He's not really my nemesis. He's just a pain in the butt on one of the forums. Are you ready? Here we go. Let me know when you can, at what point you hear the sound of the Noctua. I can kind of hear the Noctua now. It's got that characteristic high-pitched noise. Ooh, it's discordant now with the Arctic. You know, it's interesting. I would say for pure volume, the Arctic is louder, but that high-pitched noise coming out of the Noctua is piercing through it. I think if they were to modify the fan blade somehow, maybe using Dr. Frank Fish's biomimetic technology, they would probably be able to get rid of that high-pitched whine that some people hate. Now I'm going to turn down the Arctic. go. It's a pretty rough fight with these two. They're both powerful. However, that said, if we look at power and we look at noise and we look at airflow, unfortunately, of course, this fan goes substantially faster than the Noctua at a maximum of 3,300. So it reaches an airflow level that's much higher and static pressure that's 2 above the Noctua. So it's really very powerful. So if you don't mind the noise of the Arctic, some people prefer the Noctua, some people prefer the Arctic, but if you're looking for power, and especially if you're doing it on a densely packed heatsink or a radiator, this Arctic is an excellent choice. And at, I think, about 1/3 the price, it's certainly worth it, especially if the claim of 500,000 hours is true. And even if it's not, there's a 6-year warranty on the Arctic fan. So, and they're a carbon neutral company. Now, I don't know if the company that does the manufacturing for Arctic in China is a carbon neutral company. If they're not actually producing anything in Germany, of course they're going to be carbon neutral. But if they're not counting the production in China. So I just got to wonder about that. I'm not saying that that's the situation, but it is a possibility, and in which case, it's a bit disingenuous for Arctic to claim to be carbon neutral, because they have to count the production of their fans and other products. So, yeah. So would you do me a favor, please? It would be ever so helpful to get me my channel monetized, so I'll be able to have more money that I can put into this channel. I've already sunk over $6,000, I believe, into this channel between coolers and fans and thermal paste and stuff, not to mention the testing equipment. I built my own sound box. So I really need help financially to make this into a valuable asset for the community. And once it monetizes, the next section that I'm going to show you is going to be available to all the members, so they'll be able to look at all the data themselves and pick it apart and complain about all the mistakes I've made, because I'm only human and I do this all by myself. This is why it's very bare bones. I don't have any help with, and I'm very poor at editing. So I do virtually no editing whatsoever on the vast majority of my videos, aside to put together the different pieces. So yeah, please like, subscribe, and share if you don't mind. And let's go ahead and proceed to the next section. Okay, so the Arctic P12 Max, or the ACFAN 00280A, is a black frame and black bladed fan running at $9.99. It depends, but it's around that $9 to $10, which for what it offers is amazingly better than all of the other fans above that, including the Noctua. So, if you're looking for an inexpensive, high-performance fan, this fan, at least in theory, if the statistics are to be believed, especially that 500,000 hours, because the Noctua has the amazing SS02 bearings, which I'm hard-pressed to believe that Arctic managed to, but it's a German company, and Germans are renowned for their engineering expertise, which is kind of a nationalistic thing. But setting that aside, it's just they're both from Europe, so yeah. Well, anyways, it has CE, ROHS, and UKCA certifications. It's made in China. Measurements are 120, 120, and 25 millimeters. 500,000 hours of life. 6-year warranty. No LEDs. 184 grams. 5 blades. Yeah, 5 versus the 9 on the Noctua, which I'm just like, I'm I'm looking at the picture again just to make sure I didn't type in the wrong thing. The standard spacing for the mounting holes is 105. Minimum speed is 200 RPMs versus the 450 of the Noctua, and maximum of 3,300. A variance of 5%, and it does do 0 RPM. But pretty much every fan, once you turn down the power low enough, basically all fans will become 0 RPM at that point. But this is by design along with the Noctua. Those are the only two so far. That's the only, well, not this Noctua. I think they do have some, but I could be wrong. But this is the only one so far of my reviews that has 0 RPM by design. Now, the airflow maximum is 81.0. Wait a second. Okay, hold on. I got to double check I didn't make a mistake. Nope, it's 81.04 cubic feet per minute. So it doesn't have more airflow than the Noctua, which I stated earlier, because I got mixed up with the CMH, which is 137.69. So not the same thing. Static pressure of 4.35 versus 2.34. So like I said, 2 millimeters of water better, and 25.3 decibels of noise. I'm going to call that a fudge on the rating. It's definitely louder than that, along with the Noctua, are the two loudest fans so far. Although the Segotep is kind of noisy, but not that noisy. Then it's got a 40 centimeter power cord with no daisy chain. It doesn't have LEDs, so it's a PWM fan, double ball bearing, and the manufacturer of the double ball bearings is NMB in Japan. So that may be the reason why this has a 500,000 hour lifespan. 12 volts rated, 3.9 minimum. I don't know the watts, but 0.29 amps is its rating. It does have markings for rotation and flow direction, and rotation is clockwise. It has 4 screws and corner cushions. That's it. That's all it has to offer. So there it is. If we take a look at what the Noctua has to offer, though, out of the box, the Noctua has the low noise adapter, an extension, a splitter. It's got silicone pins for mounting if you don't want to use the screws, which it also comes with. So the Noctua at three times the price, well, more than 3 times the price, gives you more, but do you need the more? Is it really worth it to you? I mean, Arctic is a well-known and respected company. Their products aren't always high quality, whereas Noctua generally has a better reputation. So I guess, it's up to you. Depends on what you need and what you can afford. But I leave that up to you, obviously. But I hope this has been helpful for you. Again, please like, subscribe, and share. If you don't mind, that would be very helpful to me and to the future of this channel and what I can provide for everybody. Because my goal is to help consumers to better understand fans and to make better choices about which fans they need. So there we go.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.